In this tutorial, I would like to show you one property of beam and columns that affects how elements are joined in the project. So when I go to the structure beam and try to load the family from the structural framing folder, I have different subfolders based on the material of its elements. So the main difference is between concrete and the other ones. The wood, steel and precast concrete behave similarly when it comes to the joining with other elements like floors and walls. So I will base this tutorial mostly on concrete and precast concrete. So first of all, I loaded one rectangular beam and I will load a second beam from the precast concrete. Maybe I will load L-shaped beam, so the shape will be more clear in the project that it's precast. Okay, so when I am drawing a precast beams, and I will activate chain command. You see that when I'm drawing, they are still separate elements. You see there is some kind of distance between these two elements, which is set as start join cutback. If I zero it out, it will align with the face of the other beam, but they are treated as a separate elements, which is a good behavior because the precast, it comes to the site as a ready materials, so they are not joined automatically, of course. But when I am drawing using a beam called rectangular beam, which is concrete from the concrete catalog, you see they automatically join because the concrete is poured on the site, on the construction, so they create one monolith, right? And I would like to show you where the property of behavior of this element is stored. It's not based on the structural material or on material browser in any way. You have to go to edit family, and here in the properties of the structural framing, you may find material for model behavior. Now it's set as precast concrete. The same properties you may find also in the family category parameters. You see there's also the same properties. So if I would change it to concrete and load it back into the project and overwrite the value, you see the join is automatically created because Revit no longer interpreted as precast. I undo these changes, and knowing this, let's see how it will work with, for example, floors. So let me draw a beam here. Okay, and I will create section. You see, the join connection was automatically created. There is no line between it. If I would draw it using precast concrete, it would be treated as two separate elements. And now, if I want to join them, I would use a join command and would have to add an extra step to it. Okay? Which is joining, not cutting object. Now they are monolith. Sometimes when we draw a concrete beam and the connection is created automatically by Revit, the join order is not preferred by us, especially if there is some more advanced complex shape of the profile of the beam. So we have to remember that we have a switch join order command, and we can select, and you see now the beam is the main object, and concrete and slab is the secondary object. In this case, it doesn't really matter, but I just want you to remember that there is such option. Similar situation may occur when we use structural columns. So if I load the family from structural column catalog, we also have the same subcategories, and if I load something from concrete, the material behavior is usually set as concrete. So when, for example, I will try to maybe create something smaller. Okay, and place it in the wall. You see, it seems like the column is being lost in this wall. It's practically inside of it. So let me check how it looks like in 3D. Oh, sorry, this time it was just because it was drawn downwards. But if I would switch to level 2, let me draw it again. So if I draw height, let's say unconnected, and place it inside of the wall, you see there is this warning appearing that one element is completely inside another. It's because these two elements in somehow merged. So if I enter hidden view, you see the column is not even visible anymore. And sometimes it might be a little bit of problem. It's still visible in the floor plan, but they somehow merged because in the edit family properties, it's concrete. So it will try to automatically join with other structural elements, also with the structural layers of the wall. So if I switch it to Precast and override the existing model, if I would draw it again, now it's automatically joined because it remembered the joining condition, but now this error didn't appear here and it's clearly visible here. So it gives us maybe an extra step where we have to join now the column with wall. You see, the layers are being cut, but still it's better than element that being completely lost in the project. So now when I hide object here, it's cut out properly. So remember not to use cut tool, but join tool, as it may be counterintuitive to create a cutout using a join command, but this is how it works. And remember about material behavior of elements, how it's deeply coded into the Revit environment.